led by quarterback Bucky Richardson, a junior. Darren Lewis and Robert Wilson in the backfield behind him. The wideouts, Gary Oliver, a possession receiver, Shane Garrett, the speed of the wideouts, the tight end, Dennis Ransom. A huge offensive line. The tackles, Jason Rockhold and Matt McCall. The guards, Mike Pappas and John Ellisor. And the center, one of the best in the nation, Mike Arthur. Bucky Richardson, the junior from Baton Rouge, Louisiana, took over at mid-season as the quarterback of the Aggies. Darren Lewis ahead for about 2 to the 22. Brian Mitchell made the tackle for the BYU defense. Let's meet the rest of the Cougars defensively. The tackles, Pete Harston and Rich Kafusi. The nose guard, Mark Smith. On the outside, Alema Fatisamanu and Scott Giles. On the inside, Rocky Beagle and Shad Hansen. The corners, Irvin Lee and Brian Mitchell. The safeties, Josh Arnold and Derwin Gray. It is a depleted Cougars secondary. Usual starters, Tony Crutchfield and Norman Dixon, are out of the lineup tonight with injuries. The pitch again to Lewis. He's out to the 25 for a gain of 3. Scott Giles made the tackle for BYU.
Well, early A&M's doing exactly what we thought they'd do, run the football and try to control the clock. They went to a formation there, an unbalanced formation, where they put 2 tight ends together. Now, you'll see that with a lot of motion to see if they can get a mismatch and get an extra blocker on their side of their scheme.
Third down and 5. Richardson has Oliver open. First down, A&M. Gary Oliver with the catch at the 31. He's the leading receiver for Texas A&M. He caught 28 passes during the regular year.
BYU so concerned about the rushing game. Here you see the pass game where Robert Wilson and Darren Lewis both blocking on the outside. Just have a quick out route just beyond the sticks to pick up the first down. Usually when you're in a mindset defensively of stopping the run, the passing game should work. Now, when A&M now starts this series, I look for them to try to get Robert Wilson inside to try to help set up the option a little bit later.
Garrett goes in motion on 1st and 10, just underway at the SeaWorld Holiday Bowl. Lewis bursts through the hole. He's out to the 38 for a gain of 7.
It's an isolation play, Sean, where they're going to lead Robert Wilson through. Watch Robert Wilson here. Just take a parallel step. He's blocking on the linebacker. Good block. Springs Darren Lewis for a good pickup of about 7 yards. Again, A&M will try to control the ball on the ground, keep Ty Detmer on the sidelines.
Second down and 3. Lewis has the first down as he squirts out to the 43-yard line. The tackle made by the inside linebacker, Shad Hansen.
Darren Lewis, outstanding tailback. He's had a great year. 291 carries, the tank, 1691 yards, 18 touchdowns. You know, I think the thing is, if you compare us to basketball, it'd be like a run basketball team where you're a running team and you're gunning team and you're playing against a slow down team. That's what I expect. One of these offenses will control the ball and force the other team to come on and try to get something done very quickly.
Play action pass on first down for Richardson. Has a couple of men open, and it's Oliver making the terrific catch. He's at the 32-yard line of BYU, a 25-yard gain.
Bucky Richardson came into Texas A&M lineup in the Houston game. He brings an option-type quarterback style, but he can throw the football. Here you see him on play action where he gets a good fake to Darren Lewis, gets good pass protection, scrambles a little bit. Now he's going to find Gary Oliver on a crossing route. I don't believe he was really throwing to Gary Oliver. I think he was trying to hit Shane Garrett, and Gary Oliver came underneath, made the catch. 2 receivers in the same area.
This time it's Wilson, the fullback. Inside the 25, they'll spot him at the 24. Gain of 7 for the Aggies. They are driving down the field on the game's first possession.
Well, I said early when Tim Brando threw it to us and talked about Ty Detmer last year in the bowl game, Robert Wilson can have that kind of game tonight in this bowl game. He can propel himself into the Heisman race next year. He's that quality of a player. As you see R.C. Slocum, who's done a great job coaching this A&M team.
This the 8th play of the drive. We're down to 11.5 minutes to play in a scoreless first quarter. Lewis The offensive line of the Aggies doing an excellent job knocking the defensive front of the Cougars back. Lewis appears to have the first down as they mark him at the 21.
BYU a lot of times tilt their nose guard. Mark Smith, number 91, we'll get a shot of him pretty soon as he's tilted, which he'll draw a double team, which means then Robert Wilson has to pick up the linebacker to allow Darren Lewis to run free on the isolation.
That's Bob Toledo, the offensive coordinator, in the background. It's been a nice mix of run and pass on this opening drive, and there is a look at the nose man Smith. Tilted over the center, Arthur. Lewis. Out of bounds, close to another first down. They'll mark him out inside the 13, about a yard and a half shy of the first down. Brian Mitchell knocked him out.
That's the formation that Bill Walsh made famous with the 49ers. He takes the two tight ends and puts them together, one on the line of scrimmage and then the other one cocked off, 5-yard split. And you get an extra blocker there, and BYU has to figure out exactly where they want to put the defensive end.
Officially a gain of 9 for Lewis on first down. He's up to 29 yards rushing on 6 carries. Wilson, first down inside the 10. He pulls down to the 7-yard line.
This is exactly what you didn't want to happen if you're BYU early. You don't want your front dominated, because if the offensive line, the big offensive line of A&M, as you see him come off the ball here, Robert Wilson breaks it back. You see what I'm talking about? He has such good feet. He can make cuts. He can catch the football. He can block. He is a true #1 draft choice if he stays in school, and a true Heisman Trophy candidate next year. I'm coming out as early as possible to make him a candidate next year.
I think it's obvious you like him. First and goal from the 7. Wilson again tripped up at the 3-yard line. He's 6'1", 245 pounds, and he enjoyed his first bowl experience last year when he rushed for 145 yards against Pittsburgh in the John Hancock Bowl.
Well, he's an outstanding player. As I was saying earlier, R.C. Slocum, you see right here, wants to try to establish the run. If he is able to establish the run, even without the option early here, and dominate the front of BYU, he's going to force BYU into blitzes with their linebackers.
Second and goal from the 3. Garrett gets a block. Garrett leaps and did not get into the end zone. Irvin Lee and Josh Arnold came out of the secondary to knock him down at the 1. What a nice block from John Ellisor back behind the line of scrimmage to allow Garrett to get close.
It's a good play call because they've been hitting up inside. Here you see the fake to the tailback, Darren Lewis. Here comes Shane Garrett around in the reverse. Gets good blocking, and what a great effort by Shane Garrett. 5'11", 185, trying to get into the end zone, trying to go up and above, but he was stopped.
Third and goal from the 1. This the 13th play of the opening drive. Lewis, touchdown. Robert Wilson with the call for the touchdown for R.C. Slocum. The Aggies with an impressive opening drive. They take a 6-0 lead.
Well, here's what we talked about earlier. Again, you keep the running game going. You keep Ty Detmer off the field. Now Ty Detmer is going to come on the field and try to make something happen quick. So A&M's strategy has worked in the first series.
Lane Talbot on to try the extra point. He's only missed 1 in his career. 88 of 89 lifetime. And with 9:23 left in the first quarter, Texas A&M on the touchdown by Robert Wilson leads BYU 7-0.